Hello everyone, thank you for joining us today. I'm Evelyn, and I'm thrilled to be here with my family. We're going to talk about managing stress and finding relaxation techniques. This is something I think a lot of people struggle with, especially with our busy lives. Personally, I find it challenging to balance schoolwork and social activities without feeling overwhelmed. Mom, can you explain more about stress management? How do you find ways to relax with everything you juggle?
Sure, Evelyn. Managing stress is about finding the right techniques that work for you. For me, it's all about setting boundaries and making time for myself. I practice mindfulness and sometimes just take a few minutes to breathe deeply. I also enjoy reading and gardening. They help me disconnect and calm my mind.
I think managing stress is really important because it affects everyone, from students like me to adults with demanding jobs. What do you think, Mom?
Absolutely, Evelyn. Stress can impact our health and well-being. It's crucial to recognize when we're feeling stressed and take steps to manage it. Different people have different triggers and ways to cope, but the key is finding what works for you. Whether it's through hobbies, exercise, or spending time with loved ones, it's essential to prioritize relaxation.
Mom, I find that when I feel stressed, talking to friends or listening to music helps me. Do you have any specific ways you handle stress? Maybe something from when you were my age?
When I was your age, Evelyn, I used to keep a journal. Writing down my thoughts and feelings helped me process what I was going through. I also loved playing sports, which was a great outlet for me. But I'm curious, Mom, what was it like for you when you were younger? How did you handle stress?
Back in my day, things were different. We didn't talk about stress as openly as we do now. I remember in the late 70s and early 80s, people relied more on social gatherings and community events to unwind. We'd go to local dances or spend time at the park. I loved knitting and baking, which helped me focus and relax.
That's interesting, Mom. Grandma, how about in your time? What were your go-to stress relief techniques?
When I was growing up in the 1940s, stress wasn't something we discussed, but we had our ways of coping. I remember during the war years, people were anxious but found comfort in simple pleasures. We didn't have modern gadgets, so we spent a lot of time outdoors, and community was a big part of our lives. We would gather for church events or simply sit on the porch and talk.
Yes, and compared to now, people had fewer distractions. We didn't have smartphones or the internet, which I think made it easier to unwind. But we also didn't have as much awareness about mental health and the importance of managing stress.
It's fascinating to think about how things have changed. If we had access to today's technology and awareness about mental health back then, I imagine it would have made a significant difference. We might have found new ways to connect and relax.
I agree. Having resources like online support groups or guided meditation apps could have been incredibly helpful. Back then, we relied more on each other and our immediate environment for support.
That's so true, Grandma and Mom. Today, we have so many tools at our disposal. We can watch calming videos, use apps for mindfulness, or even join online communities for support. How do you think these modern tools compare to the methods you used in the past?
They're definitely more convenient and accessible. It's amazing how you can find a solution for almost any problem with a quick search on the internet.
I think it's great that people today can access support and information so easily, but there's something to be said for the simplicity of just talking with friends face to face or spending time in nature.
It sounds like you both value personal connection and simplicity. I guess it's about finding a balance between using modern tools and maintaining traditional methods. let's discuss the pros and cons of different relaxation techniques. I think modern apps and technology are great because they offer instant access to stress relief methods, but sometimes they can also be overwhelming and make us more dependent on screens.
That's a good point, Evelyn. Technology can be a double-edged sword. While apps and online resources are convenient, it can also add to our screen time and potentially increase stress if we're not careful.
I agree. I find that while modern tools are helpful, they can sometimes distract us from face-to-face interactions, which I think are crucial for emotional support.
Yes, and while we didn't have these tools in my time, I believe the sense of community and simpler lifestyle were very effective in managing stress. Perhaps finding a way to integrate both old and new methods could be beneficial.
Maybe we can use modern tools to supplement traditional methods. For example, using a meditation app, but also making time for a walk in the park or chat with friends.
That sounds like a great idea. Combining the best of both worlds could help us manage stress more effectively. In summary, we've talked about various ways to manage stress, from traditional methods like spending time with friends and enjoying nature, to modern tools like apps and online communities. Each has its benefits and potential drawbacks, and finding a balance between them can be key to effective stress management. Thank you all for sharing your insights and experiences. Thanks for joining us today. We hope you found our discussion helpful. Remember to take care of yourself and find what works best for managing your stress. See you next time.